What's up? It's me, Don Tolliver. If I could describe the open earbud, I would describe it as very seamless. It's like you clip it onto your ear, and then sometimes you can forget it's there, but it's not going anywhere because it's like clipped. It's kind of crazy. If I could bring my music with me wherever I go, it just make life easier and seamless without interruption. To be able to have the music on hand like that without any interruptions would be great. Check out Bose.com for more.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
What happened what today? Oh, we're up 500
The
points.
stock market.
What did you just say there, Rick?
The stock
Oh, you're
market.
not Rick.
No, but Orange, you glad I did not say Apple stock because today it is a bad apple. Something
What was
like
that Rick eating when we were talking to him?
I don't know, but it sounded good.
A caramel?
A dark chocolate sea salt caramel.
Boy, I bet that's good.
Sounded like it was double dipped.
Pat, we get a call from some guy in Erlanger, Texas.
Yes.
Harlingen.
Harlingen.
It's hard to say.
Harlingen.
Yes.
And when he called today, he was eating a sea salt chocolate caramel.
Well, they're dang good.
He told a joke about Oli and Lena. They were arguing whether childbirth was more difficult or a kick to the groin. And Oli's line to Lena was, listen, a female might have 4 or 5 kids, but no man in history has ever said, that really hurt. Do that to me again. Kick me in the groin again.
Okay.
So I think he won the argument, but slept on the couch.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Vikings
That is
have
good.
6 playoff teams on their schedule next year.
Whoa. Yeah, it's a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens when the NFL's got the schedule. When you finish first,
Mm-hmm.
you end up then playing first and third, I believe, from the other divisions. And they who finish the second play second and fourth. So that's the way that works. I believe the game in Philadelphia the game against Philadelphia is in Philadelphia too, right? There's a very good chance that'll be a season opener, I would guess. One of the
the Thursday night special.
Thursday night specials. That's a
sell
very
it.
good chance.
Why are the ratings so down for the Super Bowl? Did you see that?
Cord cutters.
Yeah, maybe that's
There's
it.
less people with TVs. Although this is a percentage of the TVs. They're not that down. 3%. 103 million.
It's like the
And you-
market. It's nothing.
You throw in the people who are streaming it, and you had 106 or 7 million. So it's fine. I would think they're not in a panic. In fact, I was reading Mark Wicker's column on it. He said, all those people telling you about we're not possessed by the NFL should have been at the grocery store on Sunday morning.
Something
Oh,
about
my
Apple.
God.
The lines of
I went to the
lines
Cub
of-
in
of
Chaska.
people trying to
It
get
was-
their Super Bowl food.
It was
Ivy and
like the-
Cottage Grove right here.
Yeah, it was like the blizzard was coming,
Is that
and we were
right?
all
Yeah.
getting prepared for being locked down for 24 hours.
He made it sound as if the one he went to in Long Beach you couldn't park.
Oh, my
the
God.
lot was full. So
What else is
how
new?
would you like to have been getting out of the Costco lot on Sunday morning?
No
you would have had
thanks.
no chance because the Costco lot is competitive. It is a
Yeah.
competitive parking lot.
Yes.
From what I can tell, it is always competitive.
It is if they're all from New York.
Oh yes, and if you go to either of the ones that are somewhat near me in Fort Myers,
Yes.
the one right off 41,
Yep.
they They make no.
It's a game of chicken, isn't it, Pat? It's a Southwest Florida game of
They
chicken.
take no precautions, and they will wait for somebody to back out of a parking spot for 8 minutes and block traffic.
You know what's fun, though? But the real story behind that is the fact that you and the DA, buying in bulk at Costco for the two of you for the next, what?
Toilet paper, paper towels,
Yes.
and then whatever else you stumble
Coffee
across.
for the next 4
You
years.
can get that at the drugstore.
We have, what's the name of the single cup coffee maker? Keurig?
Keurig, yeah.
Yes.
It's never been out of the box, has it?
Never been out of the box, but we're ready for it in case we ever take it out of the box because we must have 100 of those.
We got some Stone
packets.
Mountain.
We got those packets.
Yes.
We got the packets. We got the Keurig.
You're ready to go.
We just don't have the
You just don't drink
inspiration. We just don't make
Now,
coffee.
you're not a coffee drinker, is she?
Yes, and
Well,
today
then how's she making it?
she's making it by saying, "Can you stop and get me a cup of coffee?"
Oh, wait,
and then I drive up to Barley's.
Wait a minute.
Go to the Caribou and get her a cup of coffee.
Pat, I thought she was, since it was so warm on the pavement, she was just taking a pickaxe and chopping up the coffee beans out on 41.
No, I don't think she's going to do
No,
that.
it wasn't. She didn't go old school, huh?
You let me straighten you out on something.
What? I can make it.
The Keurig
I got
you
it.
could handle.
Okay.
It's nothing.
But it's kind of. I got a moral position on that.
No, you have
I
none.
didn't-
None.
I didn't-
No, there's
I
no
don't-
moral
Let's take a
position.
stand
I
here
don't
and find
drink
out.
it. I shouldn't have to make it, right? But I guess I'll go buy
Pat,
it.
here's how you make it. Water's in there. You pull it down and go, boom.
See you later.
How you doing?
That's
done.
how hard it is.
That's how hard.
done. It's
you
done.
know coffee
I'm going
grounds?
to try it.
You have to try.
I'm
You
gonna
should
have
get
to
yourself
try
a hot chocolate.
The only thing that we have made less use of is
Apple cider.
the only
stock.
thing we've made less use of is VCR Plus. Remember VCR Plus?
I don't.
You
We
ran
got-
right out.
We got VCR Plus, man. We had to get VCR Plus. I found it about a year ago, wrapped up. In,
No.
it was still in the. It was still in the package.
What's
You know,
VCR Plus?
VCR Plus is all you. It was
would've
new
been.
age.
Yes.
All you had to do if you were going to watch Knots Landing,
Yes.
and you looked in the paper because this is how long ago it was.
Yeah.
And it said Knots Landing, and next to it would be 42573, and you just punch that into VCR Plus, and it records it digitally for you, and you didn't have to do a thing, or it was on tape or whatever. It was It was 5 numbers. Plug, enter.
I can send mine to the Smithsonian untouched.
Don't take it out of the box now.
Never been
It's-
under the box.
Don't take it out of the box.
Remember when the video tape players were about the size of a steamer trunk?
Yes, right.
Yes. Well, Beta started that. Beta was huge, and then VCS kind of shrunk it down a bit.
I miss the 8-tracks, though. Those were fun.
Yeah, well, speaking
Especially
of
when
that,
they would break up right in the middle of a song. You have to throw in the next
well,
one.
now we learned today in John Heights News that Best Buy is among others that are going to stop selling CDs. CDs are going the way of the 8-tracks.
My car doesn't have one.
Either does mine.
Doesn't have a CD player.
Mine has one that doesn't work.
Yours has
You
one
can
with
take
6
6.
CDs stacked up.
I got 6 that are preserved. It's like they're in Fort Knox. They're never coming out. I don't even know what they are, but they're well
Have we
preserved.
considered just kind of trying to get in there with a
You know what's
a
gonna?
kitchen knife is the greatest employer,
Yeah.
greatest tool ever.
I want them all hacked up. I got them out. I got a half of one out.
Do me and the audience that maybe didn't hear it last week when we were at the Sprint store a favor and walk us through when the mayor discovered that there was no audio available in the ride to the Sprint store in
Thank
Crystal.
God you don't have a meter because it wouldn't do us
Right.
any
Well,
good
the first
when you were
thing
in
the first thing he did after checking the tire pressure and then checking the oil gauge was a complete. I would call it a review.
Yeah.
It's like he's writing for Car and Driver about the dashboard, but it's backwards. It's like the dash had a nice soft gray film over the entire front dashboard.
Despicable.
And then at the glove box was a decorative footprint, as if to say my foot was here during
What, were
the.
you kicking it open?
One of the kids must have been sitting there with their foot
Well,
crossed.
it had a corruption of the material.
That's what he used fancy words.
Yeah.
He used fancy words. A corruption. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Corruption.
Yeah.
And then he learned that, well, let's listen to the radio. And I said, doesn't work. So what do you mean it doesn't work? I said, it doesn't work.
You know who's had an old-time car? He's now got a new one, but I'm sure it's the same. Judd Zulgad.
Oh,
It's too bad he doesn't have children because he could have taught them as my old man taught me.
Yeah.
You know,
Throw stuff in the back.
seat.
Throw it in the back seat.
I go crazy if my wife leaves a little something in the car.
Right.
My old man, I think I taught me the opposite. Whoop, over the shoulder, man.
When
Beer
I-
cans,
Boy.
newspapers, everything.
when I first started working and producing Judd's show, whenever that was, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we had a remote. Judd, myself, and his partner then, Joe Anderson. And Judd said, well, we'll meet at the station. I'll drive you if you want to ride with me. I thought, okay, that's great. We'll have some bonding time with the new producer and the host of the show. And I walked up to the car. I looked. I said, are you kidding me? I said, Judd, where am I supposed to sit?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just move that stuff to the
yeah,
side.
throw it out. Throw it in the back.
Without exaggeration, no exaggeration in this story. I drive Sid down to Mankato one time.
Yes.
I don't even remember why. We're in his Cadillac. Got to stop for gas. Pull into a station. He opens the glove box, and a tidal wave of credit cards fell out of the glove box for him to try to find the right one to pay for the gas at this particular station. There had to be 200 credit cards.
All have 80% of which are expired.
Absolutely.
Right. We
Right.
never throw them away.
He's hung on to him.
No idea.
You should really walk around the old Yukon, which has been a workhorse.
Yeah, I know it has.
Because what the brake doesn't work, the emergency brake doesn't work.
Yeah.
The back handle
Who needs
on
an
the
emergency brake?
right, the back handle to the driver's side sticks open, so at any time a kid could just fly out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
can
if you
do
go to the
reach
back,
over, though. You can
Yeah.
have the reach over.
well, but I'm in front. Yeah. And then if you go to the back, you know how they usually, when you open up the back and
Yeah.
it stays up.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't.
Doesn't stay up, so it hits you on the head.
So right, so no, you get
Stick.
an old ice pick,
Yeah.
and you hold it open and hope that it doesn't conk the wife on the head.
All right.
Aunt Peggy Chevy, man, invented the reach around in that one.
Just a
But
moment.
then you use it to your
shot.
advantage.
Yes. I think you guys come in here and mess with the thermostat, don't you? Yesterday was perfect. Now we're freezing to death in here. So.
It is a little chilly today. I will agree with you.
How
There.
is what did they get the heat working in there? And that's
It's
over
been
there?
better.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
It hasn't been as cold as it has been in the past.
Wild at the Blue tonight.
Yeah, I was doing some Blues research. Jaden Schwartz, who's probably their best player, one of their best players, he missed. I didn't realize he missed like 2 months with a broken ankle. That's one reason they haven't been as good, and they're having a very hard time scoring goals, even with Tarasenko. So they're eminently beatable right now because they're never getting more than 3.
Well, is it safe to say the playoff hunt starts tonight? That's how
Yeah,
packed together that
you got
division
about a
is.
third of a season to go. You got about a third. I think this is game 53, is it for them? 53 for the Wild? So you still have 29 left. You got a third of them left. So I'd say they gotta start getting some more points on the road, right? But if you never lose at home, they're like the Timberwolves. If you keep winning at home, you'll be fine. They'll make the playoffs.
They've played 52 games.
So that means they have 30 left.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's agreeing with you. He's not. He's trusting but verifying.
No,
Boy, it's a long season. It doesn't seem like there should be 30 points left, 30 games left. Do you know that the basketball started about 2 weeks later, and they've played as many games as these guys? The Timberwolves have played as many games as they have, and they
both
started 2
hockey
weeks
and
later.
basketball are too long. The seasons are too long.
Yes, I would agree with that. And
Winter sports shouldn't be playing their final series in mid to late June.
the NFL, for all the crapola we give them, still puts some premium on reaching the playoffs, and the NBA and the NHL don't. The NBA and the NHL each put 53% of their league in, and the NBA puts in 12 out of 32. Now, baseball puts in 10 out of 32. But the NFL creates a situation where it's difficult to make the playoffs, and the NHL and the NBA, you have better odds of making the playoffs than missing the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite like the Gophers missing a bowl game this year, though, in football.
That's getting hard to do.
For the big conferences, the 5 big conferences, the power conferences, you have about a 25% chance to not make a bowl game. It's a very difficult hill to climb to not make a bowl game.
Well, they managed.
They did manage that. Yes, they did.
PJ's very excited, though, about the upcoming season. We've heard that now a number of times.
Oh, has he? I haven't known it. Now, we have signing day tomorrow, but it doesn't mean as much because in December, they had an early signing period for the first time, and 70% of the players signed early, including PJ. 24 out of PJ's 25 guys have already signed. So he's only got one guy to sign. Even though they've run a few guys off, 25 is the maximum, and he's already signed 24.
Are the Timberwolves a lock for the playoffs?
Yeah, they're pretty well locked for the playoffs. But the way they're playing, they pretty much have to finish in the top 4 and make sure they get a home seed. And that's where they're hanging out right now, 3rd or 4th. I don't know. They got to start. They got to stop losing these games to bad teams on the road. They got to, they got to start winning on the road much more.
Well, the Wild don't win on the road either.
Yeah, but these guys have thrown up on themselves against some really bad teams on the road. All of them from the Eastern Conference, by the way.
Well, they're at Cleveland tomorrow night.
Yes, the struggling Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Cavaliers were on national TV on, was it Saturday night? Maybe Monday night? Monday against Houston. They got beat by, just beat bloody. Didn't even try. Just got blown out by Houston. They are really playing poorly there in Cleveland.
You know what season's approaching? All the high school tournaments.
Yeah, we're getting close. End of February.
Oh, they'll start this month.
She starts up this month.
Pitchers and catchers report a week from today.
Yes.
That's spring right there.
Extremely early baseball season. Season opener March 29th.
Really? Where?
In Baltimore. But they're back here, April 1st, right? April 1st?
Yes, I think they play Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, you're asking for trouble, but
Yes,
we
you
go
are.
through this every year.
Well,
So
they
Don't
don't
care. Let's go, baseball.
Yeah.
Get here already.
Yep, come on.
yeah, but April 1st, are you kidding me?
Come on. We're hardy folk, Joe.
That could easily be in the 20s.
Well, it
With-
was the
with
one
snow.
year when they opened with Detroit at home, and I think there was still snow on the warning track behind the plate.
Should have put a roof on that baby.
Oh,
Sports Talk will return in just a moment, but here's John Haidt.
Who's that singing?
That'd be Arcade Fire.
Any relation to Inks?
I don't think it's my kind of deal.
Yeah, you'd love them.
Do they own a guitar amp and a drum set?
Yes, they do.
Can't tell.
Oh, you're just like Haidt. You're missing the boat on Arcade Fire.
Hey,
I'm
don't you
with
ever
you, Joe.
say that again about me. Oh, wait. That's right. Hi, Kenny. Kenny gave me a dirty.
How do you like that, John? You and Kenny in the same musical boat.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's sunny. It's 9 degrees.
You don't like these dogs either, huh?
I don't like Arcade Fire.
Yeah, overrated.
I don't hate them. I just don't understand it.
They're lame.
you're more of
Sunny
a
and-
Luke Bryan guy?
Sunny and 9 degrees.
I don't hate anybody but Hootie.
I don't think they exist anymore.
No, I
He's
heard
a,
that. I heard that rumor after I said yesterday I was ripping Hootie, but it wasn't Hootie. It was just Darius Rucker.
He's a very successful country artist now, Darius Rucker.
A really nice guy from.
Oh, they say he's a great guy and he loves golf, so how bad can he be?
Sunny and 9 degrees. Gophers, they're in action tonight at Williams Arena. They will play.
Really?
play Nebraska.
Really?
Royce just did an imitation of us imitating Royce.
Work on that a little bit, Pat. Okay,
I
work
didn't
on
know
that.
they had a home game today. Plenty of tickets available, I bet.
Gophers 14-11 overall and 3-9 in the Big Ten.
Did that increase or decrease your chance to head on down to the barn?
I have family obligations today.
See you in Fort Myers.
I got to pick up my Girl Scout cookies today.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
She pulled off a beauty last night. I said, how many boxes did I buy last year? She said 25. I said, okay, I will get 25. Then I give her the phone to Grandma, and she tries to sell her some more.
Oh, now how many are you going to get? How many do you want, Grandma?
Yeah, right. And she said, no, Grandpa ordered for me, I heard her say.
So, did you hear about the gal, the little one at, what was it, Joe? San Diego?
Yeah.
Right outside of a weed shop. She sold about 6 truckloads.
300 boxes in 6 hours.
That's what we need to get her sales
If you're
up.
a company, go hire that girl right now.
Yes.
Twins announced 13 players with minor league deals have been invited to Major League spring training this year. Of the 13, 8 have Major League service time, although I didn't recognize any of the names.
Boy, they did that. That was an anonymous group of 6-year free agents.
Are we going to
they
miss the
signed.
big sexy?
Well,
Went to
he's going to
Texas.
start with Texas, but that's a minor league deal. He might be floating around.
News notes from today.
Speaking of floating, wouldn't you like to see him in
my
the
God.
pool and with a inner tube around
A
him?
little, yeah, with a
Kind of
little
like
duck
that.
going, yeah.
No, I want him going down the lazy river, at Valley Fair.
Out of the blue this morning, former Governor Tim Pawlenty announced he's leaving the Financial Services Roundtable job he's had since 2012.
You know what that is? That's a sign.
I think it is also, yeah.
I'm surprised, though. He said he's not running for the Senate. He might run for governor again.
Governor, yeah. Rumors that he will run for his former position. This all comes on the same day that Republican precinct caucuses are being held. Party loyalists gather and pick a favorite in a straw poll today.
He'll win.
Nobody was injured yesterday afternoon, when a student at the Harmony Learning Center fired a school liaison officer's gun, according to Maplewood Police. The officer was sitting on a bench talking with some students about 1:45 in the afternoon when a third grader pressed the trigger of the officer's holstered weapon. The gun discharged through the bottom of the holster. A bullet hit the floor. The officer, who was unaware the child was touching his gun, was wearing a department-approved Level 3 security holster, a holster equipped with a trigger guard designed to prevent a gun from being fired while in it. The department is reviewing the holster model and the circumstances surrounding the incident. Nobody was hurt, luckily. Spokesman for
Third graders, those third grader fingers aren't that long. That kid snuck her right down there and squeezed her.
Well, little Timmy, it all goes like this. Oh, what the hell?
Didn't hit his foot, huh?
No, didn't even hit anything.
Fife it.
Nothing.
The kid was, I don't think he was being a prankster, though. He was probably just curious.
Curious, yeah.
I wonder what happened.
What does this do?
Wasn't it a school for special needs?
It was Harmony Learning Center.
Yeah.
Serves special education students. That's correct.
Well, I'm just, maybe that.
Great
it's a
observation, Mayor.
New level of curiosity.
Why would you say that?
Well, it's a new level of curiosity.
No, I think
I
it's
got a
part of the
whole
story.
new mental picture.
Yeah, Minnesota Sports
You.
Minnesota Sports Facilities Authority is responding to social media posts that show some U.S. Bank Stadium seats missing after the Super Bowl.
How in the hell do you take a seat out?
You were out there when we
walked like
destroyed.
Columbo.
You were out there in '81 when we destroyed Met Stadium.
Oh, the burning of Atlanta.
Do you rip it off or do you bring in tools?
I
Gotta
bet they
have
brought
tools.
like a crescent wrench or something to get that off.
So anyway, what are they saying, Johnny?
The MSFA said the situation is under investigation.
Oh, okay. So they told us nothing. How many seats are missing?
Well, Barstool Sports, the website, tweeted a video of what appears to be an Eagles fan carrying a stadium seat under a coat and getting congratulations from coat check
How do you
workers.
get it under a coat?
Have you seen the picture? You haven't seen the picture?
No.
Just the bottom is sticking out, but the coat is covering the whole
Okay, so
thing.
he folds her up and
There-
he's carrying it up.
There was one.
I ate so much, I gotta get out of here.
There was one photo of a guy at the airport, and he had the back part of the seat on top of his luggage, and then the part where you sit on the front part. So it basically looked like he manufactured his suitcase into a seat.
Yeah.
And he had it at the airport.
A photo posted on Reddit appeared to show a missing seat in the stadium, along with 2 others without seat backs. MSFA spokesperson said the authority is aware of the post and they are investigating. In a statement, per our standard operating procedure, damaged or missing seats will be repaired or replaced immediately. The MFSA
So
said.
we're figuring an Eagles fans got a couple of seats, so when they're sitting watching a road game down in their TV den, they
That's
can
right.
sit in a seat where the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
They really are the dirty underbelly of humanity, aren't they?
The Eagles
They're
fans?
just gross.
they're
people.
vile, aren't they?
They're just awful.
What's going to happen?
Incorrigible.
What's going to happen at the end of this is we'll end with an arrest because this Eagles fan is going to put on social media,
Yeah.
here is the chair that I stole from U.S. Bank Stadium. And lo and behold, boom.
Off to jail where he'll be welcomed like a conquering hero.
You know, we didn't have high security in 1981, but I've always wanted to know how that guy got the big wooden sledgehammer into the Met Stadium. There was a guy walking around with one of those big wooden head sledgehammers saying, "You want a seat?" And people would say, "Yup," and he'd go whack and knock it right out of the
Wow.
You probably walked in like my dad, like he had a peg leg. We're just, oh, yeah, just my stump here. And
Yeah,
you know,
but
they didn't-
the authorities then didn't care, right? Because that was coming down anyway.
Well,
Did they care?
Oh, it got so out of hand. There's nothing they could do. They had 4 cops there, probably. They
So-
got so out of hand. There's nothing they
When
could
the
do about
clock
it.
ticks 0, you guys described it basically sounded like a construction job
Well,
site.
later, we both went downstairs, I think, and when you came back up like 40 minutes later, it sounded like a construction site because, there was just hammering and sawing.
We're going after the light tower.
You
got a crane backing
It was
in.
unbelievable. Then I saw remember the guy that called our show? This could have been when we were, I don't know, had we been fired by then or not? I don't, but the guy called the show once telling about how he woke up in the morning, hung over, car parked sideways in the driveway, and there was a goal, half the goal post
In his yard.
Wow. Wow.
Didn't know I had a
He
goalpost.
said they were driving down the street. The other guy was holding it outside of it.
Running next to him?
Oh, he was kind of
Just holding it out the window.
Like he's on a horse at the Renaissance Festival with the joust.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
From the same pad where NASA launched rockets that carried astronauts to the moon, a big new American rocket went into space today, but this time NASA was not involved. The rocket, the Falcon Heavy, was built by SpaceX, a company founded and run by billionaire and entrepreneur Elon Musk. The launch of the turbocharged version of the workhorse Falcon 9 rocket, which has been carrying cargo to space for the first time, marks an important milestone. It's the first time a rocket this powerful has been sent into space by a private company. It carried just kind of a mock payload. It carried his Red Roadster, an electric sports car built by his other company, Tesla. Strapped inside the car, a mannequin wearing one of SpaceX spacesuits.
Is this guy a Bond villain? This guy sounds like he's up to no good.
Yeah,
We better keep our eye on this dude.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Is he a Bond villain?
Those Teslas are sending messages to
Something's
him.
going on.
Big center, and it's in the middle of a mountain.
I
something.
guarantee you something's going on.
The success gives
You got to get
SpaceX
Jaws on this one.
gives SpaceX momentum to begin developing even larger rockets, which could help fulfill Mr. Musk's dream of sending people to Mars. To do that,
Mars, they'll be gone for their whole lives. It'll take 20 years, Johnny.
We'll just put 30 driverless cars on Mars just to see what
What
happens.
the hell are you going to do when you get to Mars? You can't hang out outside, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
to do that,
People
he's
are such
You'd
idiots.
be like Nick Mancini. You'd go to Mars and you'd be planning your trip back immediately as soon as you get off the
You
rocket.
say, you want a cake?
Yeah, how do I
Musk has described a new generation rocket that he calls the BFR. The B stands for big and the R for rocket. And
Yeah, okay.
the middle one, you get that.
Fun.
That might be ready for launch by the mid-2020s. The other weird thing about this flight today,
Yeah?
and this is spooky to me, the boosters, the rocket boosters that are on the side that lift the thing into space,
Yeah.
they flew back to Earth and landed upright. So they
Yeah,
can,
this guy's a villain.
They can
Dr.
reuse
Evil.
them. And they landed right on the pad where they were supposed to. The
This
spot.
is time travel or something.
That's weird.
Some kind of shenanigans.
I know we got to go here, but I got one observation.
Okay.
You know how the people who take their windshield wipers and
Turn them up.
Yeah.
turn them out
Right.
when it snows out?
Every time I see him, I
drive me
think of
crazy?
you. Yeah.
Drive me crazy because they think they're smarter than you.
Yeah.
Guys in Tesla, same thing. They think they're smart. They're looking down their noses at the rest of us if they're
Right.
driving one. They think they're just smug SOBs.
Yeah, but when
Let
the
me tell you.
power runs out in an hour, they're sitting there
Yeah.
waiting for something to happen.
Pat, do you still practice slapping those windshield wipers back onto the
now I'm
windshield as
just
you wipe?
breaking them off. with it.
We better be going to Wilmer this segment, Johnny.
We'll get to Wilmer. But before we go to,
go to
Wilmer, before we go to Wilmer,
right.
we got to talk about. There's a movie coming out.
No, not on the air. No.
Yeah, Black Panther, which was a great comic book when I was a kid.
I thought it was about the movement.
Yeah, here's what brought this up. Off the air, I'm scanning Twitter and I click on something Black Panther thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a movie that stirs things up. Turns out it's a superhero movie. It has nothing to do with the real Black Panthers.
It was a Marvel comic in the late 60s, which I was quite fond of as a youngster.
So which came first, the movement or the comic?
The comic was before about the same time, so I'm not sure. I don't want to say.
Maybe that's where they got their name.
Could be. Could be.
I thought you were saying you were fond of the Black Panthers, Johnny.
I was fond of the comic.
Okay.
The Black Panther, yes.
Remember in Forrest Gump when he said, "Sorry to ruin your Black Panther party."
I do remember that, actually.
Great line.
First, an update on a story we had yesterday. Investigators say a vacation home reported stolen by a Houston couple.
Yes.
It might have been repossessed.
Oh.
They're likely victims of alleged financial issues of the prior owner. Local TV says Joe and Lonnie Harrison thought their one-bedroom cabin was missing from Madisonville, 90 miles northwest of Houston. It was a prefab home on property that they bought last year, but they hadn't been back since November. Lonnie went back Friday, and all that was left of the house were some blocks and pipes.
Didn't this happen to Phil Mackey?
It was his car.
His car, because he won't open an envelope.
Yeah.
It's too last century for him.
I have a friend that same thing happened to her. She got up to go to work, car gone.
Oof. Sergeant Larry Shriver of the Madison County Sheriff's Office says the Harrisons likely are victims of misrepresentation of the property when they bought it. Shriver said deputies had served financial-related civil papers on the previous owner. Investigators now looking for the person amid concerns the structure was repossessed and not actually stolen.
Hey, Gronk's house got robbed during the Super Bowl week. They got guns and electronics and all kinds
And
of
as I
that is
stated last
low.
hour, it's a good idea that a Patriots tight end is armed.
Especially one with about 15 concussions.
Now the story from Wilmer.
I was going through all of the people Brady's throwing touchdown passes to in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's even throwing them to murderers. He's, he's throwing touchdown passes to so many people. I think 15 now.
Are you still sticking with your piping hot sports take regarding the Patriots from yesterday?
That Belichick's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
On his own doing?
Now, if Josh McDaniels takes the Indianapolis job, then I'm.
You
wrong.
mean he's just done? He's retired.
Yes, because
he's
Kraft. He's mad at Kraft, the owner. So because Kraft made him trade Garoppolo.
I'm going to find out who started that house fire.
Didn't they sit one of the knuckleheads for being a naughty boy?
On to
I
baseball.
smoke a little weed.
On to
Although
baseball.
he
We're on to
issued a
baseball.
He
statement
issued a
today
statement about an hour ago, saying
that disputes everything that's
Yeah.
been reported.
Okay, on Malcolm Butler,
Yeah.
just because of talent. Huh?
Can I get a word in here, please?
Sorry.
Let's go to Wilmer.
Okay.
Let's go to Wilmer.
Want to go to Wilmer, Kenny?
Let's go to Wilmer.
Kenny's responsible for this story.
I
so
think this
you
guy
can,
might be my cousin.
you can thank him after I read it.
Okay.
A 40-year-old man was injured last Friday after trying to jump a homemade rocket bike off his house roof in the 800 block of 3rd Street Southeast.
Attaboy.
First of all, you got to explain to us novices what a rocket bike is.
well,
they go in depth
it's
here. This
coming
is
here.
awesome.
Okay.
According to the police report, the rocket bike consisted of a pair of skis, a bicycle frame, motorcycle exhaust pipe, and it was all fueled by heat Remember heat, the old antifreeze
The stuff you pour in
What
your
was
car.
the source of power?
The heat. He
The
lighted
heat.
it up. He lighted it. I'm sorry. He
lit
lit it up.
He thought he could skid off the roof
that's what
with a
we-
can of heat?
That's what we say in Wilmer. We lighted it up.
After he drank half the bottle, too, I'm sure.
The unidentified man fell about 13 feet.
Nice.
How old a fella, Johnny?
40.
Apparently hit a fence in the yard during the fall. When rescue personnel arrived, he was on his back on a sled, pushing himself around on the driveway with his feet.
I need to get some momentum.
This is going in the file, John.
Okay.
I want his name.
According to the police report, he was reportedly swearing and yelling about how much pain he was in.
But pushing himself around nonetheless.
How much? We don't get a name?
No name. I got no name.
Come
for it.
on. When you do something like that, you should get your name in the paper.
This was reported everywhere. I mean, nationally, it was being picked up.
And
Yeah.
everybody took it from the paper up there, and I think the paper, when they went through the police report, maybe they didn't want to embarrass the fellow.
Well, to think that a can of heat could do that is tantamount to the congressman who thought Guam was going to tip over.
Exactly. Everybody knows you use carb cleaner. I mean, come on, you knucklehead.
I didn't even know heat still existed. Yeah.
Well,
How many episodes of Wile E. Coyote has this guy watched in his life?
The writers for Park Boys are.
You
got
see him making
one.
this thing through in the garage, and he's
totally.
thinking, almost ready.
I'm a genius. I can't
Almost
wait.
ready.
I bet he's single.
Elon Musk and
Or
SpaceX.
divorced.
What?
Elon Musk and SpaceX, don't worry about a thing. I got this rocket. We're going to Mars, baby.
For my roof in Wilmer.
Yeah, right.
Hold my moonshine. Watch
Where
this.
did he think he was going to end up?
In the Twin Cities. Hell, he was going. He was
Yeah,
leaving,
he didn't
man.
want to pay for Super Bowl parking. He was going to rock it in.
You think he was mad at the wife? I'll see you later, you B-word.
You would like to know. You would like to know what his goal was.
I want to know where he was
Where
going.
he thought he was going to wind up.
that's a really good question,
Because he went
Joe.
to the edge of the roof and went straight down.
Like he probably planned for a little lag, like when a jet fighter leaves a ship. You know, they drop down a little.
I blame Levi. I blame Levi Lavelli. I mean, not Lavelli. What's his first
Yeah,
name?
you got it.
Levi
Levi.
LaValle.
Levi Lavelli. I think he wanted to do the same.
Now
John, is the guy all right?
Well, he was in pain, obviously, he said, according to the police report.
he
but
should get together with that guy that jumped off the trampoline to try to duck the basketball and just landed flat on his face.
No. It was Danger. What was his name, Rook? Captain Danger or something like that?
No, he's talking about the big black guy that thought he could dunk off that mini trampoline,
and he got about this high.
He bottomed out the trampoline.
but still exceeded my jumping capability.
All right, what do you have coming up on the ride?
Well, I have, they had the early signing period in college football this year. Used to be tomorrow would have been a huge day in college football recruiting signing, but they had the December period, so we'll talk to Tom Van Happen about that. He's an ESPN expert. And then I'm going to talk with Wicker as an ex-Philly guy.
Yeah.
But he was there from 73 to 83. Tell me about the town a little bit. So we're going to talk to him, too.
So he would have covered the
He would have
World
been there.
Series.
He would have been there for their first World Series, the Super Bowl. When
When
they
they
went
lost
to
to
Super
Oakland.
Bowl in '80. Yep, he
In
would have
New
covered all
Orleans.
that. Yes.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. I think it's about 12 degrees. The ride with Royce is next.